Alright YouTube, today we did the unboxing and we're also going to start a few seeds indoors, a few things that you need. You can do this as cheap as you want to or as expensive as you want to. Cheap way to go, you can take and replace these with folded piece of construction paper, write on them. Egg cartons that you can get from Walmart, you can get about 5.5 dozen. You'll get some of these when you buy your eggs, so free I guess. And tin plates, because you need to water it from underneath the seeds. And you can just sit them in there like that. The water will soak through, and you're good to go. If you wanted to, you could poke a little holes in the bottom of it. Don't really need to, because it's whatever this crap's made out of, it'll soak up the water. Be good for the plant. The reason why you don't want to top water is because when you put your soil in there, and some of the seeds, like especially your herb seeds, are small, and you put them in there, when you water from the top, it splashes the dirt and it'll splash the seeds out. You know, you won't have no seeds here, but you'll have 15 here, so that's why. Alright, so the total cost of that way to doing it, you can get your own dirt if you have a compost pile. $2 for this, plus your seed cost. Now, you can go a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit neater, as in non-meshy. You can get one of these. It's a window planter. Please excuse my dog. My puppy. It costs $3. Sits in a windowsill. It has the cells, has the water tray. And just to water it and lift it up a little bit, pour some water in there. Just enough. You don't want a whole lot. Then it has the plastic greenhouse effect thing. Or you can go with a much larger one. Which, quit! Bad girl! You can go with a much larger one for 72 cell, I think. This one's a 36 cell. This one's a 72. Same concept. I believe that was $5. Popsicle sticks. We don't really eat popsicles that much. If you do, just save a few and you can use those. Otherwise, these are $2 a pack. You get 150 and they're color coded, so it's kind of nice. You're also going to need a water bottle, spray bottle. That's what I use to water them. Mist, light mist over the top when we first start. You can also use it for various other things. Always need a spray water bottle. Seed starting mix, natural and organic. This was $5, $6, somewhere around there from Walmart. It looks basically like peat moss with some dirt. Something to scoop it out to make it a little bit neater, so it's not as messy. Alright, so we're going to start with this method first. You take your egg carton. I like to spray it down just a little bit to get it started getting wet. Just a quick spray down like that. Not a whole lot. You take your dirt. You can screen it if you want to. You don't really have to. You just kind of put it in there. It's dry to begin with. There is another guy on YouTube. I have to look up his channel. But he does this with toilet paper. He takes 2 sheets of toilet paper and folds them in half and wraps them over a pipe and twists them together. It's actually a pretty ingenious idea. I'll put a link to his video, or at least tell the name of the video in the description. But you want to start and just fill up your cells. And I'm just going to do this for right now. Spread it out and kind of pack them down a little bit. Put a little bit more in that one. You really don't need a whole lot to start with to get them germinated and sprung up. When you do transplant them, you want to obviously use more dirt, soil. You wet it down a little bit. You want a nice moist base for your seeds. And if it's a little wet, don't worry too much about it, because cardboard will soak it up. I'm just trying to mix my water and my soil up so it's not so messy. Just a touch of water, a touch of soil to it. Kind of help absorb some of that moisture. Alright. Y'all just sit tight and I'll get all this done and we'll be right back. Alright, YouTubers, we're back. Magic of video. All I did was the same thing I did on these cells. Got them wet, ready to actually plant. I did put some water in there so this would absorb it fairly well, and you can see it's kind of mushy, but we're ready to plant. Have some Ducat deal. Basically deal. You have to forgive my dog, she's whining. You take your little stick there, popsicle stick. I broke them in half because these are so small. And you can label it whatever you want, just as long as you can label it to remember what it is. So let's check out My Patriot Supply on their seeds and see what we get here. Okay, there's another pack in here. Slide this back just a little bit. A pack of seeds and a pack of seeds. So it's also labeled. Well, part of it labeled. Some of the D got missed. But it's labeled on the seeds too, so I think that's pretty neat. Apparently, there's no easy tear to it. I'm just going to tear that off. And it's actually easier to mix your soil and water first to get it moist, and then put them in there. Oh, that might be a little too much. So that seems to be fairly nice seeds. Now they say to plant them twice the depth. Twice is the widest point is deep. So we're just gonna put them on top for right now. It's very hard for me to grab these. And we're gonna just sow one per thing to see how the germination works. See if they germinate pretty well or not. wasted about 500 seeds, so get some more there. And we're just going to set those to the side. What I want to do is press it down just a little bit, because I've already pressed down the soil already. A little nice firm base. Oops, stuck to my finger. I want to try to get it in the center, that way the... Where'd that one go? There it is. That way we'll know where to look for the sprout to come up. So, got them like that, and my water, my soil is a little on the moist side, so I'm going to sprinkle some dry soil in there, and if you can tell, I'm just sprinkling just enough to cover it up, maybe slightly more. Then I'm going to press down just enough to make it firm, not too firm, just there. And then I take my label and stick it on this end down here, right there. That way I know that one row is dill. I don't have to put a stick in each and every one. My next one is thyme. And let's see if the thyme has the same 2 packages. This one looks like it's in a plastic resealable. Yes. Whoa. Alright. This one's in a plastic resealable and very tiny seeds, so this ought to be fun. I should mention that you probably have tweezers for this. So, I'm going to cut away real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, this is thyme seed. And it was in a clear resealable bag. That's what this is, thyme. Just regular thyme, no special. These are the seeds. There's one there, one there, one there, there, and there, and there. Now you understand why I stopped and got tweezers. Alright, now we're going to try to plant these without dropping any. We're going to grab one and try to, now it's stuck to the, there we go. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there next to the other piece. It looks just like it, but it's right there. And I'm also planting these in the center, so, or close to the center. That way, in case there's any contamination somehow in the soil, it will okay, that dropped in there somewhere. Any seeds in the soil that somebody missed. Still on there. There we go. I recommend holding your breath or not doing this if you're sick and sneezing a lot, because you will blow your seeds away. I'm going to plant 2 in this last one. Alright. So that was fun. Now this, just enough on it. Now I am planting these a little early. Well, starting these a little early. I'm not really planting because it's the last day of January here, and we still have a month of February to go. So it's a little early, but I intend on building a cold frame. That way it'll keep the frost off because it's warm enough, but it might be a little chilly in the weekend. Evening. So, lemon balm. No, it does not smell like lemons. As you can see, yeah, there's individual seeds. They're a little bit bigger, not much. Not much at all. And they have a tendency to stick to the bag. This is a little difficult to do, especially since I'm not very graceful. I can't get that one. I'm trying not to crush the seed too. That's 5, 6. Very tiny seeds. I'm gonna put them back in here. Now I like this. The deal I was a little surprised about, but this with the seed, the resealable bag inside of a resealable bag, I think that's very, very good. It's pretty. It's the inside of the outer bag is plastic. I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not, but there's frays of plastic where it tore, and then the aluminum line shell. So we'll go with this, and again I'm planting in the center, so I know where to expect my soil my sprout to come up. I know this is a rather lengthy video, but I couldn't find too much information on Patriot Supply, so I just putting this out there so people will know what to expect when they order something. So again, the same as the thyme, just a tiny little bit since the seeds are so small. A lot of people, you see you got a long piece of soil like that, you can screen it to be more fine and keep that bigger litter out of there. Press down just a little bit, just enough to kind of firm it down, because you don't want to get it too tight, then the sprout struggles to push through the surface. And you don't want to have it too loose, because it doesn't like to germinate for some reason. Then we got our lemon balm there. And this is the regular hyssop, not the anise or anise. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Smells a little strange. They look very similar to the lemon balm. Also, if anybody has a better idea, I don't claim to be an expert on this stuff, in no sense of the word at all. So if I do something that may be a wrong way, or a longer way, and you have a better idea or a different idea, feel free to share. Dealing with all these tiny seeds, I can't help but to remember when Jesus said to, I think it was his disciples, I could be wrong, if thou had faith as a mustard seed, you could tell that plant to uproot itself, that tree to uproot itself and go over there, and it would obey. Same with the mountain. You could move mountains. And I tell you what, the more I read the Bible, especially the Old Testament, in Genesis, where God created the world, it's very, very interesting. It's amazing, actually. Because each plant requires a sacrifice, in a sense of the word. Because the seed dies to make the plant live. And I think that's sort of symbolic of Jesus. Because Jesus was crucified so that we may live. Could be, I don't know. I mean, God is far wiser than I am. I'm just stupid. That's our hyssop. Now, lavender. Now, I opened this earlier, the Vera lavender, and you could just smell it. It's potent. It smells like lavender. It's pretty awesome. And again, these seeds look very similar, so I hope they just didn't package me a bunch of seeds in there, the same plant, grow up 32 time plants or some crap like that. I'd actually be a little more than upset. I mean, $102, that's kind of expensive. I also forgot to mention in the unboxing video that orders over $49, basically orders over $50, you get free shipping, which is another reason why I ordered so much. That, and I wanted some heirlooms. That way I could gather the seeds, and when these run out from the living rooms. And another thing about their website that I thought was very, very helpful and great, they also tell you on a lot of them how to collect the seeds, which, they're in the business of selling seeds, and they're going to tell you how to basically put them out of business. So that, to me, is may not be very business smart, but, it's looking out for the little guy. And I'm putting them on the, obviously, I don't have to say this, but I'm putting them on the white card to tell where the seed is, so I know where I'm putting it. It's not too terribly long. It's just tedious work that I'm not quite the best at. Just a little bit. I hope I ain't covered them up too much. I have a tendency to do that. Get that big chunk out of there. But yeah, this feels like Basically ground up peat moss is what this feels like. I thought about doing the peat pads, but I don't know, maybe next time or something. Just press them down again. And another thing about a cold frame, when you do this and then put them in a cold frame, they're used to being outside and the temperature changes, so it helps eliminate transplant shock. Or so I've been told. I don't know. This is my first attempt at starting seeds. I'm just going by what videos I've reviewed, stuff I've read. And that's that on this. Put just a little bit of water in it, and you can see I barely got some water in it because this has the ridges in there. And it's pretty moist, so I'm just going to leave it at that. You could probably take saran wrap and make the greenhouse effect or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to check them every day because that's what I do. They don't necessarily need any light right now until they germinate. Now once they germinate, they're going to need sunlight. Not a whole lot at first because you don't want to burn them. So basically what I'm going to do is just set them in the window for 3 to 4 hours a day, just to get them used to it, you know. And then once they get used to it, just leave them in the window until I get my cold frame built, and then set them outside in the cold frame once they get big enough. If you have any questions or comments, you know, click on the link below. Doing these are the same way. I mean, you obviously use a little bit more dirt or soil, I should say, doing these, but you do them pretty much the same way. You fill up the trays and push them off and, you know, firm them down so it's got a nice good base to it. Add a little bit of water. And see, the thing about these is you have to either cut one of these cells out and you lose a cell to put water in there, or you have to pull it up like this to put water in there and then set it down. Also, another thing is don't fill it up too much. If you do fill it up, let it sit for about 30 minutes and then pour the excess off, because in 30 minutes it's going to be done soaked up as much as it's going to soak up. Total cost of this project right here is, let's see, 1, 3, 4, 6, $750 for the seeds, not including shipping and handling with that, but $750 for the seeds. Less than $2. I only used 3 popsicle sticks because I broke them in half. Bag of soil, you can get that though, so $10 and you got a seed starter. So it's not that hard to get started with. Now you can put grow lights and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get that far into it. I'm just gonna basically start my seeds like this. If you keep your house kind of cool, find a warm spot around 60 to 70 degrees is about when the majority of seeds germinate, and just put them on top of it. A lot of people stick them on their refrigerator till they germinate. Find a southern exposure for, if you live in the northern hemisphere, that is, for the window you stick them in, so you get plenty of sunlight. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and as always, see you on